Good evening, guys. It's Brad Baca here. Just again got done reading all about interview techniques, strategies, and liabilities. And as a former athletic director, I can tell you that uh, all of that is great information, and you do have to be careful when you're talking with candidates and screening and vetting people for positions. And this is great skills to develop, and I appreciate this assignment and this discussion because it is something that we have to be uh, really skilled at. And we all know, of course, we've all been on several interviews, and you know when someone knows what they're talking about and when they're authority on a subject, and you know when they're not. And so this can be a real feather in our cap as campus leaders and campus administrators if we are effective at interviewing, finding out skills of potential candidates, and being able to uh, assess what they can do. So without further ado, let's continue on. In addition to everything that we read about the bad questions, things that you should ask, I think there are still a few pieces of information that an interviewer needs as they're rolling along, really to try to figure out if someone is a perfect fit or a good fit for their district for that position. And I think one thing I always like to ask is, what do you think your strengths and weaknesses are? And you get some interesting answers sometimes. People will tell you their weaknesses, and you want to know that. You want to know what they think they are. Um, and you want to know what they think their strengths are. And it's funny sometimes when they tell you those things, and then you make a reference check, you call their former principal or head coach or athletic director or whoever, and what they say their weakness is wasn't what the candidate told you it was. And so you get a clear picture. Does this person really know where they're at? Do they not? Or are they right on the money with what they do performance wise and what their former boss thinks? I always like to know how that person views their role as a teaching professional. What is your philosophy for teaching? Why are you called to do this? What got you into teaching? These kinds of things that are not real content questions, but also just figuring out why they teach. And everybody's got their own reason, and it's just good to get to know that information. I really feel like. I like to ask, what's their plan for student success? We're all going to deal with difficult students. Of course, you've got the student that comes in every day, does whatever he or she's supposed to do, and you don't have to really worry about them. But there are going to be those harder to reach students. And so I like to just hear, how are you going to help all these students succeed? And then, do they have passion and energy? You know, you can tell right away. You can tell by the way someone walks, the way they carry themselves, if they're going to be someone that gets kids excited, that kids are drawn to it, that our kids will be um, excited to go to their classroom, whatever their content area is. Do they have passion? You got to have passion and energy, whatever you do. I truly believe that. Nothing great was ever done without enthusiasm. So I like to find people that are enthusiastic about what they do. So the second part was, how do you get this info? How do you attain some of these pieces of information without maybe always asking directly? Well, how's their appearance? Do they dress professionally? You can learn a lot about someone by the way they dress for an interview. Are they properly groomed? Did they dress up for the occasion? If not, it may be an indication on how they view their job or their potential job, their current job, or the position that you're offering or may offer, and the approach they will take on a daily basis. Um, I've had all kinds of people come in, people that you instantly see them and you know this is not the person for the job because they did not take the time to dress appropriately for the job. Now, that's not the only thing, but you at least should have to have that box checked. Um, Another thing is body language. Body language is huge. A teacher or coach needs to have the confidence to speak and influence others in a positive way. If the candidate struggles to answer questions definitively, if they're slouching in their chair, they could lack the necessary confidence to be an effective teacher, an effective communicator. Kids may not believe them. Staff may not believe them. So you want to have someone that has positive body language. Also, are they prepared? Did they come with resume copies? or perhaps a portfolio? Do they have examples of their lesson plans that they can show you, or their practice plans? Did they come prepared to show what they bring to the table? I like to see tangible evidence of what someone has done in the past to get a better view of who they are as an educator and who they are as a person. What am I getting if I offer you the job? And then, what questions do they have? Hopefully you brought in a serious candidate and not someone that's just sending out mass resumes. Chances are, if they're serious, then they've done their research on your school in terms of, what type of schedule are you on? What is the pay scale? If there's something they couldn't find online, many times they'll ask you, and that shows genuine interest in the job. And then finally, are there ethics in tricky questions? And the answer is yes. Make sure you ask questions that are related specifically to their ability to perform the intended job. This will keep you on track. Title VII prohibits employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, and national origin. So if you stay within the realm of questions related to what they'll be doing in their specific job performance in that job, in that capacity, then you'll be just fine.